Oh, hey guys, hey Max, no. Where's Punch, no. The tick, 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 knock. Did Triple G just duck Jaime Munguia? We gonna talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Yeah, hey Max. Before I get started, make sure you guys click the link in the description to order UFC, Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic, Part 2. Should be a great heavyweight fight. And with the power that Ngannou has and Stipe Miocic, his boxing ability, it could very well end in a knockout. Again, if you're ordering that pay-per-view, use my link. You can click the ESPN link. That helps the channel. Or the link tree, and it's the top link. It'll take you right there. So I had to make this video. Jaime Munguia, they're saying his new opponent could be Maj Seletsky. But I have sources in the game that let me know that Jaime Munguia was very willing to fight Gennady Golovkin. This was also confirmed by a lot of other reporters and publicly reported that Triple G and Jaime Munguia were in negotiations. Now, I do believe my sources and I do believe what I've seen. And what I've seen from Jaime Munguia is a willingness to want to fight and challenge himself, right? In fact, Jaime Munguia, this is the craziest thing, and this is the irony behind the whole situation. Jaime Munguia was thought to be a replacement opponent when Canelo Alvarez failed a drug test. I've been covering boxing for several years, many moons, right? So peep this. Triple G was scheduled to fight Canelo Alvarez. Boom, rematch is announced. They even did like some red carpet events and, little press tour or whatever. Canelo fails a drug test. He can't fight. Triple G says he still wants to, quote, fight on the Mexican dates and keep that May date against somebody, despite Canelo failing. In Vegas, where the fight, the Canelo Triple G 2 was originally scheduled to take place, you had Triple G, who wanted that date. Canelo was out of the equation because he failed the drug test with clenbuterol, blames the meat. Vegas, they tried to get Jaime Munguia. This was before the Saddam Ali fight. So Jaime Munguia was a fighter from Tijuana, Mexico that was really unheard of and unheralded at the time. Again, this is before he became a champion at 54, so no one really knew who he was, and it was out of nowhere. But these are one of the names that shopped, and this is crazy how life comes full circle, right? At that point in time, and if you don't believe my reporting, you can Google this and look this up yourself. At that time, the Las Vegas Commission, based on Jaime Munguia, I think he might have been 19 at the time, he's very young, and being unknown and unproven, and fighting, I think, traditionally at a little bit lower weight than 160, they rejected the fight as basically too much of a cherry pick, too dangerous to have a guy that inexperienced in with Triple G. Now, here's the irony. That was when Canelo failed a drug test, so a couple years ago, right? Fast forward to the future, Jaime Munguia asserted himself, did some cool things, not everything. I thought he lost to Dennis Hogan, but he had some good performances, became a champion, stopped Saddam Ali, and, tried to do his thing at 154. Then we got to see, okay, he's definitely an offensive, not necessarily tight on his defense, but he got a good offense and he's durable, he has heart. So he built himself up. Then he says, hey, my body's growing, I'm moving up to 160. And he fights Toriano Johnson. Nasty uppercut, splits his lip, boom, boom, boom. Knocks out Spike O'Sullivan as well before that, things like that. Now come the Triple G fight where they could actually fight. And at this point, it probably makes sense. Triple G's pushing 40. Canelo has said he doesn't really want to fight Triple G again. And they're both on Dazn, etc. Now all of a sudden Triple G doesn't want to fight Jaime Munguia, because I do not believe for one bit that this was Jaime Munguia who didn't want the fight. And I think further proof of this is looking at Triple G's current track record. Look at who he's fought on Dazn. Steve Rolls, who? Derevyanchenko, that's a good name. you know, and that was like he was a high ranking person, so I'll let that slide. But that's also the one fight on DAZN that I thought Triple G lost. Then he comes back and says he has to fight a mandatory, and Camille says meta, you know, and he doesn't even look great. His breathing doesn't look great. Takes him a couple rounds to get a guy with no punching power out. Triple G, he just looks washed. He doesn't look like the same ferocious fighter that fought Matthew Macklin and fought guys like Rubio and looked like he did versus Martin Murray. Fast forward to the future, you're in negotiations with a young strapping Jaime Munguia, and I thought that was a great fight because that's not a gimme fight for Jaime Munguia. Yes, he has probably height, combination punching, youth. He has some good power, better inside fighter. You know, he has that on his side, but at the same time, he doesn't really have a great defense. So Triple G has a great jab, and he has a lot of power, and he too has a good chin. So I was looking forward to that fight, and then now it's not happening. So look for Triple G to try to fight in Japan against Ryota Murata or some other fight that nobody really wants to see, when he could have fought Jaime Munguia, which would have been a great fight, a great stylistic fight, and he didn't want no smoke. And the other thing that is probably perhaps the most disrespectful for Triple G is when he first came in the game and had a Mexican trainer in Abel Sanchez, he was coining this phrase of Mexican style. And he even had some Mexican fans wearing shirts saying Mexicans for Triple G and Mexican style and stuff like that. Then he fires Abel Sanchez and splits from his longtime trainer over money woes. He doesn't want to pay him more or whatever. So he fires his Mexican trainer, Abel Sanchez. Now he totally abandons the Mexican style like moniker. And then you have an opportunity to fight a fighter from Mexico, right? In not Canelo, because Canelo don't want to fight you, but in Jaime Munguia. And then you have negotiations with him, and then you don't respond back to him, and then, you know, leave him hanging. So now he got to fight Mad Selesky when you guys are both on DAZN. You know, where I'm from, we call that a culture vulture. You use the culture. Do you really care about the culture that you're vulturing from? You know what I mean? To use. And then when it's time, like if you're Mr. Mexican style, then why not fight a guy like Jaime Munguia? Give a guy out of Mexico. You use the term and terminology for several years. Why not give a Mexican fighter, since you can't get the Canelo fight, you would be the A side. Why not give him the opportunity to fight you, and it'd be a good fight for the fans? But instead, you rather go to Japan and fight Steve Rolls and Camille Says Meta and guys we've never heard of. The bad thing too is DAZN, in this whole situation, they're the enablers. They're enabling Triple G to have these type of cherry pick fights, and they're paying him handsome. Like I heard that Camille Says Meta, he had to take a pay cut, but still, he's probably still getting paid more than the up and comer who, like Chris Colbert or somebody who looked spectacular in his last fight and is fighting his ass off. You know, boxing is a cold sport. Triple G, he's pushing 40. If he's not going to fight top guys, or if he doesn't even, you know, just look at how far we've come. He went from Nevada State Athletic Commission not approving, INSAC not approving Jaime Munguia, to an opportunity later down the line where it makes more sense to fight Jaime Munguia, and then now you're passing over that. So I just feel like Triple G, he might as well call it a career if he's going to do what Canelo is doing, you know what I mean? And the difference is Canelo has a better resume and he's younger, you know what I mean? And Canelo still has a rabid fan base. So he has that going for him. Triple G, you know, we still want to see it. You're not going to fight Charlo. You're not going to fight Jaime Munguia, and you're going to try to milk this out. You have a multi-fight deal with DAZN. Is this what it's come to? You guys let me know in the comment section. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.